It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. They not from around here. I think it's an invasion. Who that? Who they? They're not from around here. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. Man, they not from around here. I think it's an invasion. Greetings, Earthlings. I am Warlow. I am Warlow. I am Warlow. I live life like there's no tomorrow. Chris King, KGNOOB. What homes you ain't know? We're UFO. Cargo, khakis, polos, and fresh kicks. That's the definition of what the cargo kids is. SOS, yes, spaced out swagger. I never do anything right, I'm backwards. I'm so galactic, so erratic. You niggas on my old swag, you can have it. The world is mine and your girl is too. So do us a favor, make room for the crew. Wow. Who that? Who they? They're not from around. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. They not from around here. I think it's an invasion. Who that? Who they? They're not from around here. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. Man, they not from around here. I think it's an invasion.
With DJ.
Who they? They're not from around. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. They not from around. Let's go. Who that? Who that? Who that? Respect the DJ. Who that?
Slip and slide DJ.
It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. Man, they not from around here. I think it's an invasion.
Rockstar. Greetings, Earthlings. This is my introduction. They say greatness doesn't come overnight, so I'm not rushing. Spaced out swag, best believe I'm paper touching. Super stupid flow, and you bitches can't tell them nothing. UFO, uniquely flying, outstanding. All I speak is cash, I see why you don't understand. UFO, uniquely flying, outstanding. All I speak is cash, I see why you don't understand me. Got a sense for drama, so I always keep the cannon. This is the invasion, so watch out for our landing. Standing tall, never too far. Spring and summer fashion, bro, I get it in the fall. Y'all about to start hating, and I don't mind at all. I'm a thriller like MJ, and my flow is off the wall.
Who that? Who they? They're not from around. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. They not from around here. I think it's an invasion. Who that? Who they? They're not from around. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. Man, they not from around here. I think it's an invasion. Greetings, Earthlings. I am Warlow. I am Warlow. I am Warlow. I live life like there's no tomorrow. Chris King, KGNOOB. What homes you ain't know? We're UFO. Cargo, khakis, polos, and fresh kicks. That's the definition of what the cargo kids is. SOS, yes, spaced out swagger. I never do anything right, I'm backwards. I'm so galactic, so erratic. You niggas on my old swag, you can have it. The world is mine and your girl is too. So do us a favor, make room for the crew. Wow. Who that? Who they? They're not from around. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. They not from around here. I think it's an invasion. Who that? Who they? They're not from around. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. it's a new face.
Man, they not from around here.
I think it's a new face.
You're now rocking with DJ.
Who they? They're not from around.
It's gotta be my imagination.
I think it's a new face.
I think it's an innovation.
DJ Skinny.
They not from around.
Let's go.
Who they? Who they? Who
I need a haircut.
We're live, brother.
Oh. Ha. We don't have any barbers on the spaceship.
No.
Welcome back to the mothership. How you doing? This is the SS WhoDat. We are live once again. The baddest podcast this side of the Nile and the Mississippi River. I'm B. Hi, y'all. Once again, we got the captain, DeMario. You know him as Paco. And this week we have two fantastic guests. We already even got into it. We already having great conversation. But we have Mr. Garland Brown, who is one of the most educated men I've ever met in my whole life. But he's a teacher down at Columbia High School. He was my teacher when it came to criminal justice. A lot of people locally know Mr. Brown, but I'm glad that he came. And we also have my friend. We just met today officially, but we've been on Facebook for the longest. He's a poet. He's an activist, community worker, mutual friend. Europe Dooley always gives you big props and everything. So, but Frank Frizzy Sykes, who is up right now for Poet of the Year for the SCA Awards. That's a blessing right there, man. That's cool.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
glad that you could be here, man.
Glad to be here.
How your week been, Paco?
It's been all right, man. Been catching up on a little things. I watched El Camino, the Breaking Bad joint.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it's okay. Breaking Bad fans will love it, but I mean, to me as a feature film, it was just mediocre. I give it 5 out of 10. Yeah.
All right, you saw it too?
I heard about it.
Yeah. I mean, the trailer pretty much like.
I mean,
the trailer looked pretty good. But
Let me tell you,
I wasn't a big Breaking Bad guy. I felt like I'd be too behind.
It had a lot of characters. It brought a lot of characters back, but
Bill Burr?
huh?
Did Bill Burr make an appearance?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
would have watched it.
I mean, it had its ups and downs, but it was a strong start with a weak finish to me. So, but
You like that?
on the other side, I know everybody's watching El Camino, but I want to tell everybody to take a break from that and watch Raising Dion, Michael B. Jordan's.
I've been seeing that a lot on my time.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's real good. So, it's about Michael B. Jordan's character's son who develops like superpowers, but he's like 6. So it's the mother struggling to raise a 6-year-old with superpowers and kind of figure out what's going on and stuff. But it's good though. It's really well done.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Didn't you see Joker?
I went and saw Joker.
How was it? I haven't seen it yet.
It was fucking fantastic.
Was it?
Awesome. It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved every second of it. And like the dark humor in it, like I don't know what it is, and maybe just because black people like to be talkative in movies, but I'm always the only one like surprised. Like I feel like everybody else in the movie has already seen it.
Right.
Cause like when it's something funny, nobody really like laughs anymore. Like
Right.
everybody's like it's deadpan. So it was real moments to where it was like a dark humor, but you could tell it was intentional. It was funny.
Right.
And I would be the only one laughing. I didn't know if I was like messed up on the inside or if everybody else just saw it before I got there. I wasn't sure, but I was giggling my ass off, and nobody else seemed to find
anything funny about it.
Nobody else agreed.
Wow.
But I loved it. It was great.
I have to check it out yet. I've had my kids all week for fall break. And
It's a really good commentary on like the now. Like,
Right.
They place it in a day and age of old, but
It still has a lot of relevance.
The very first
to today.
line you hear is there's a strike going on.
Oh yeah,
And that's not giving away anything. It's just setting the premise of the environment.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
So as soon as like the very first line, you're like, okay, I can identify with this.
Right,
All
right.
And then from there, it's a thrill ride.
I heard it was very focused on mental health.
Yeah, but no. It wasn't like focused on like go get yourself checked or take care of your mental health.
Right.
It was just showing how this dude. What's the opposite of healthy? What's
What's all the wrong shit you can do?
The lack of any mental anything, like,
Right.
So I can see where people might have been getting that from. That's the thing now that people are talking about a lot. So the Joker, of course, I see why people point it out. But if you see the movie, no, it's not like he just needed help. No, he's the Joker. He got pushed too far.
Right. I understand. Series of unfortunate events.
Because it's not like you see this man like decaying. You just see how the Joker got to the point where he just decided he already was the man with the mind.
Right.
You just figure out like, oh, you found a gun. Okay,
Right.
all right, this is good.
Yeah,
this is what's up. It's a really good. I really suggest everybody go get it and go watch it because the trailer doesn't even show. Like it's not like I try to like figure out, of course,
figure out movies from the trailer. Yeah,
completely got it off. Completely missed the mark.
Right.
It was really good.
Okay. All right. So tell me about our guest. Who wants to go first today?
Well, we was already talking and everything, but my man Frizzy, since you up for Poet of the Year and everything, why don't you tell everybody what you do, how you got into it and all that, so we can make sure that they go get their votes in. Is there a deadline on it or anything?
Well, actually, it's up into April of next year, so they got a while to vote because the actual award show isn't until May 2020.
Okay.
So it's early, but I'm not wasting any time. I'm kicking it up.
Yeah.
I am a spoken word artist, poet here in Columbia, Tennessee. I operate a lot in Nashville, Tennessee, and I've traveled around to different states, hitting stages, sending messages. Creatively, I use spoken word, yes, to entertain, but more so to pack a message in there for people to hear what needs to be heard, learn a lesson, and then take it and apply it to life.
Right.
So with that stuff, I do a lot of things. You'll see me around town doing a lot of events. There's one event I just had last night
at the Columbia Arts
Building. The Columbia Art Building, of course, with Muletown Collective. I do that event, collaborate with him, and the event is called Change. And creatively, it's called Change for a reason, to kind of stir up things that need to not be the same as they have always been and create change for the better.
I like that. Especially here.
Yeah, especially here. We all the time in Columbia, I hear a lot of people saying there's nothing to do, there's nothing to do, but nobody does something so there can be something to do.
Right.
So I just said, you know what? I said the same thing. There wasn't nothing to do. Why don't I just start bringing something to do and implement it and letting it be purposeful at the same time? Okay. So using my art, using the people that I network with. Po Boys and Poets is another event that I actually started doing in Nashville with a collective of poets. So I use them to bring them down here so that people can see other people from other walks of life doing the same thing and spreading that same message. So that's me in a nutshell. The stuff that I kind of been through and done within my lifetime, packed into a message to kind of send to those that are behind me and in front of me. Because the crazy truth, when they say it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, it's some stuff that they just have not learned or decided not to learn because they are so stuck. Yeah, they stuck in their way. So creatively, that's what I do to shed that light and make things happen.
Did you get a good turnout?
Oh yeah, it's always a good turnout. Even when it's not a good turnout, it's people that want to come. Yeah. You know, when people start sending you messages saying, "Hey, I wanted to be there, but this happened," you know they're engaged into it. So it's only time that's going to make it pop off.
Is there going to be another one that you're doing here locally?
I'll try to do one at least once a month. So of course, this month is up. We come back. November we'll have another one. All right. And the date will be set for that to do. Just not set just yet, but of course it's always gonna happen. If it don't happen in the same spot, I'm gonna just put it into another venue and collaborate with other people to make it happen. Yeah. Through using what I do through Frizzy Productions, the marketing and making stuff happen, so that everyone can actually, businesses, artists, can have that platform to take advantage of growth. Right. All right,
man, that's pretty cool. I didn't hear about it until today. Shout out to Jasmine Armstrong. But sounds like a great venture because I know Columbia Arts Building is trying to do some new things. They just had the Culture Fest. Oh yeah. So I think that's a good partnership right there.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to merge a lot of stuff together, especially in this small town. It's crazy how divided things really, really are. And then of course, lack of education of certain stuff even keeps it that much more. So through the arts, you use that to kind of educate so that we can kind of work together to build and stop having this stagnant mentality and not progressing. So
exactly. And if you guys are looking for something to do, if you feel like there's just nothing going on here locally, you can come down to Shut Up and Ink Tattoo Competition.
Yes.
But November 9th, we'll be at Revolution Ink. Make sure you mark your calendars because we don't have enough things to do. So we're trying to, give people something to go out to and have some fun.
Right.
I might have to get some poets involved with that, right?
Yeah. Hey, if you, I can block you off an hour.
We can make it happen.
You want to get some poets together to read for an hour?
I can make it happen.
Yeah. Hey, let's do that. Come on. All right. Hold on. What up?
What you?
Oh.
Hey, we got a soundboard here.
Yeah. I was looking for the air horn.
So, I mean, with your poetry, what is most you write? I've never heard anything by you. So for me and the audience, kind of give us something that give us some sort of genre, some sort of how does your stuff flow? Where does it come from?
Mine more come from consciousness. So the stuff that I spit, I spit it so that we can kind of have that wake up effect. Because when you really do the things that I've done in my lifetime and what kind of pushed me to doing it, me being a deputy sheriff, former deputy sheriff, I've seen in a lot of different environments that kind of gets you out of the box that you're in, and you get to see the world differently from everybody's point of view. So when I seen that, it made me wake up. It made me stop being so stuck in my mindset saying everybody don't think like me. There's other factors and other things that are going on. So actually when I spit, I'll spit stories. And I'll tell the story creatively so that you can kind of see it from another person's point of view, and then bring it back to yourself so you can really, examine yourself and your own thoughts, so they can kind of release what needs to happen to create that change. So
that's beautiful.
Okay.
Can we hear something before the end of the show? Not right now.
But of course.
Cool. I'm a poet too, so I might do a little bit.
That's what's up. We'll make it happen.
That's what's up. Mr. Brown, man. I don't even know where I want to start because I got a bunch of questions. But first off, if anybody doesn't know, Mr. Brown is the truth. I want to start off with a story. Okay. So Mr. Brown used to have me so confident that I just knew what the hell like that. Because he would make sure that you I don't know if you still have to give the same test, but you used to have like that big end of the year paper quiz and everything. All right, so he's drilling us and making sure that we got it. We getting tested, pop quizzes, all that type of stuff about criminal justice, your rights, dealing with officers, all that type of stuff. So I'm in the mall, and this cop called me over. I jumped over a chair. So it was the mall security, but then it was like a state trooper. He called me over, and he was like, "Why'd you jump over that chair?" I just felt like doing it, man. He was like, "What's your name?" And my young smart ass, straight out of criminal justice thinking, I know how to handle this perfectly. I was like, is there an ongoing investigation on why you need to get my name? I just made it 100 times harder, and I got back to school and I told Mr. Brown, I don't know what went wrong. I told him that he didn't need my name. It was I didn't have to give him that. It was my right. Mr. Brown was like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. He was like, even if you were right, you said it he knows me too well. So he's like, I know how you said it. You handled it all wrong.
He knew off the rip. Off the rip.
But Mr. Brown has always been like somebody that's been there to guide me and everything. And I'm just all right. My first question I want to ask, the very first thing. Is it Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day? Because it's tomorrow. That was the first thing.
Call it by its name. Call it Columbus Day.
Call it Columbus Day.
And the reason why, I'm going to tell you something. I gave a speech to the Rotary back in the summer. And a gentleman asked me a question. He said, "Do you advocate or back the removing of these statues?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I said no. And he said, "Well, what's the rationale behind it?" I said, "I want to know who don't like me.
Yeah,
right.
I want to have a landmark where not to go.
So you know the history.
You can't change history.
Right.
Now you can change the future, but you can't change history. Columbus was who he was. You're not going to ever change that. You can change the name of the day, but what happened still exists.
Right.
So call it Columbus Day and then teach why we don't want to call that, or what he has done, or what
really
happened from his was so-called discovery.
Yeah.
See, that's one of the things I was always upset with when I was a young kid, because I was thinking, I was like, how are you going to discover something and people are already here?
That confused
You know, I
me.
was sitting there, I was at 9, 10 years old listening to that, and I knew it was phoned in.
And but the wording on how they always use it when it's taught and everything. How you feel about how Christopher Columbus is portrayed in the teaching of, you know what I'm saying? He discovered it. It's still like the
The
phrase.
history is written by the winners. It's called his story.
Yeah.
So he is going to tell his story a certain type of way. But you've got to tell your story.
Right.
It's just like Alex Haley writing Roots.
Right.
Alex Haley had been dead for almost 30 years and he's still catching flack. Oh, he plagiarized. He didn't write that. He was... But why are you saying that? How do you know what stories was told in his family? You're saying that because it reveals something about your history and the fact that you didn't teach it right. I've got my history. Right. You got your history. You got your history. You got your history, because we all come from different backgrounds and situations. Right. Now, it was doing a certain historical context, sure.
Yeah.
But we all got our own history. So when I'm telling you and telling anybody else, people want to change the name, I'll leave the name up there. Right. So we'll know
I feel you.
the person.
Wow. That's a like what you were just saying about perspectives. Like that's a hell of a perspective to take on it. And then when that day comes around, just tell the truth about it.
Right, just tell the truth about it.
And it's easier.
I respect the young people, and shout out to my man over at Frank, because you guys come from a generation. You know, I see the labor, the fruits of my labor when I see y'all.
Right.
A lot of stuff you guys are doing and you trying to work. You know, I was kind of upset about and depressed at one point in time, because I was like, you know, we didn't work hard enough to do certain things. Now I see you guys are carrying this stuff on, so it makes me proud to know that I came back here to do a little bit of something.
Right.
Yeah.
So y'all keep doing what you're doing, but back on to what you were saying, I'm real proud of the younger. It's a group of young people that are coming through that say, hey, we ain't sitting back no more letting this stuff fly.
Right, demanding things.
They demanding stuff to go on. So I'm cool with that. But at the same time, you got to know where to focus your energy. True. And know, because if you don't, if you burn a laser too long, you're gonna burn it out.
Right.
All right. Yeah. So when you going up to the Capitol Hill, the kids was up, and I have much praise for that brother. He was going up there and they was sitting in and doing all the other stuff at the Capitol about Nathan Bedford Forrest. Mm-hmm. You can remove Nathan Bedford Forrest from the Capitol, move his bus somewhere. However, you go to Mount Pleasant, it's a statue up down there for him. Mm-hmm. All over the South.
Pulaski,
go to Chapel Hill, up there where he from.
Yep.
They got his house opened up in Chapel Hill. See, a lot of people don't know that joker lived over in Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
All right? That's the reason why Forest High School is named after him. Well, if you're going to do that, go over to MTSU. MTSU, the Blue Raider, is the name of their football team.
Yeah.
Who was the Blue Raider? Nathan Bedford Forrest. They used to have a man a long time ago on a horse with a gray uniform, riding up and down, had blue around the thing, riding up and down the field.
Yeah.
That was the Blue Raider. Now, that being said, that's cool. I'm cool with that. I'm down with you if you want to go there. I didn't go there. I went to Tennessee State. I stayed home.
Because you knew you were not the...
Because I wasn't going to do that. Now, if that's what you want to do, you go on over and be that. But when you go over there...
Don't be surprised.
Black BYU football player.
Yeah.
Oh, they was praising that last night. Oh, he's the first black football quarterback at BYU. Why? Why would you go to school there? Then people think we got tails.
Yeah.
Okay, why would you go there? Why would you go play for the University of Alabama and the University of Alabama football, athletic team, football, basketball, athletic teams, 70% African American, but then they student body is like 5% African American.
Right.
Okay. Why would you do that? Why would you go to a school that the man stood in the doorway and wouldn't let you in there?
Right.
What they say, run, nigga, run.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this
Remember
is deep stuff, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
But true.
and folk get mad at me for saying that. And I tell
But it's history.
I was like, I would never do that. I can't play. I'm going to the NFL. You can go to the NFL from any school.
You can.
Tennessee State had, in 1974, TSU had 4 of the top 34 picks in the NFL draft, including the number 1 pick and the number 4 pick. So if you can play, you're going to play anywhere. Now, that's not being that. Once you go there, and once you get involved in those things, see what our folks forget, and I forget sometimes, but what we forget,
What?
we can't never forget this, is you black.
Yeah.
I don't care how much bleach water you get into,
You black.
you gonna be black. You gonna be
Yes.
black forever.
Yes.
When I go to work at my various jobs, I got to remember I'm black.
I'm a black
Now
man.
you got a lot of people you got white people that's gonna be cool with you.
But
And there's some white people that's down with you and they gonna
Yeah.
help you.
Right.
But at the same time,
the way the society of the structure is set up.
man, they society is powerful.
Yeah.
And they condemn them.
Yeah.
I mean, they will get on their own people.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
deep. This is a deep thing. This
It's
is
deep.
real deep. But
And those that forget that they black are sorely reminded.
Very quickly.
you're gonna
Yes.
remember that real quick. That's what happened to Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
I mean,
Man.
it don't make no difference how much money you got. If they really want to get you, they gonna get you.
They gonna get
Right.
And that's one of the philosophies that we had a long time ago, because we did a whole bunch of stuff around here in trying to break way for y'all to be able to do
Yeah.
some stuff that y'all did. A lot of y'all don't know about the bomb threats that we got at Central for doing Black History plays. Being called, when we had Elevated Young Man, being called a Black Ku Klux Klan. See, a lot of y'all don't know some of the things that we don't had to go through.
Nah.
Being ostracized by
A bomb
by
threat because
teachers.
there was a black
man. We
kid?
had a bomb threat one night, man. They were getting ready to clear the school, and they went through and checked everything, and everything was cool. And and if somebody's gonna really blow you up, they're not gonna call
God,
and let
no.
you.
Nah, they gonna blow you
Gonna
up.
blow you up,
You know,
especially nowadays.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
back then too. They're not gonna call. Oh, hey, y'all need to watch out. Y'all got a bomb out there. We gonna get y'all in 15 minutes. Ain't nobody gonna do that.
Right.
So you know, we went through with a lot of that stuff, but we did those things so you guys come out there and have some. But I know I'm black. You know, it's just a matter of time. They done already got me twice. All right, they'll
What you
do
mean?
stuff to you. Oh, they put stumbling blocks up. Oh, they mess your credit up.
Roadblocks, yeah.
A lot of people don't know what they did to Dr. King. You know, black people, the saddest thing that I can say about our people is we don't know what Dr. King went through, and people disrespect him. I call them the hoteps. The hoteps disrespect Dr. King. You don't, just because you love Malcolm don't mean you have to hate Dr. King.
Right.
His love for both of them brothers. They
Right.
was different sides of the same coin.
Right.
All right, it wasn't like they were fighting against each other. One of the things people don't know, they messed Dr. King's credit up. They had they went when you hear about identities, identity theft, they were going in Dr. King's trash, and they got his credit card. No, they ran credit up on him, man.
Messed his credit up.
Yeah, they ran credit on him. Dr. King couldn't get a life insurance policy.
I didn't know that at all.
He couldn't. Man, they was
Wait, he
trying
didn't
to
have
get-
any life insurance when they.
Dude, if it wasn't for Harry Belafonte and Sammy Davis Jr. Neil, man, that man, let me tell you something. Harry Belafonte, unsung hero, man, in history.
Yeah.
Harry Belafonte, Sammy Davis Jr., Dick Gregory.
I love Dick Gregory. I don't know about Dick.
Them cats would
Yeah.
do concerts and do shows, take the benefit from it, and feed Dr. King family.
Right.
They paid his bills. Okay? See, a lot of people don't know that.
Nah. I ain't
They
know.
took care of that man. They buried him.
Yeah.
They buried him.
That's how they.
And see, everybody think about Dr. King. Dr. King didn't have a job.
No.
Dr. King, and if you ever see Selma, it's a part in there. Dr. King's wife was kind of halfway chippy in that movie. And the reason why she was chippy was because Dr. King got $400,000 for winning the Nobel Peace Prize. Took all of it, donated back to the movement. He didn't take a dime of that money, man. See, a lot of people don't know that. So when folks start disrespecting, that man didn't have to do what he did.
At all.
Not at all.
At all.
Especially taking the $400,000 and putting it back in.
Okay,
I'm already doing the work.
Right.
Go and look at a documentary called King in the Wilderness.
King in the
I got it. I bought it. I got it. I showed it to my kids. Tears came down out of my eyes.
King in the
Because
Wilderness.
when you first see it, when it first come on, it tells a story. Dr. King's secretary, helper, coming to pick him up on April 3rd, 1968.
The day before.
And said his kids was holding on to it like, Daddy, please don't go. Stay with us. Stay with us here. He said, what y'all doing? Like, what y'all acting like this for? Please, Dad, don't go. Don't go. We want you to stay here with us. He said, I'll be back on Sunday. And said when he got in the car, they jumped on the car. Jumped on the hood of the car. Daddy, please don't go. Please don't go.
Oh, man.
And he said, I don't know what's wrong with these kids. They ain't never act like this before. The kids knew something was finna happen to their dad.
Yeah.
That's wild.
See, he didn't have to get in that car.
Nah. He had to do none of that.
He didn't
For
have
real.
to. He didn't have to do that.
And my great grandma, Medea, she's my whole family from Montgomery.
Yeah.
But she lived right around the corner from the church that he was preaching at while they was doing the boycott. You know, so every Sunday.
Have
when they
you
get
ever been
to-
down there?
To the church? I haven't. Well, they said I used to go a lot when I was little, but I don't remember.
Went there this summer.
Yeah.
You know where that
She
church
stayed
is?
right around the corner.
You know where that church is?
No. Montgomery.
You could blow and hit the Capitol building. George Wallace was right there. I mean, I was like, I thought it was at least a little bit further down. No. It's church sit right here. The edge of that street was a Capitol building. Okay? If you know anything
Oh, you
about
got your-
Nashville,
you got your
you know
hand
what
right
Capitol
there.
Hill, Nashville is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baptist Church first, Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
It's almost the same situation. A little black church sitting right down the hill from the Capitol building.
Right.
This man raiding all kinds of hell down there. You hear me?
And he's right there in the middle.
Right in there.
Hey, I got mad
That's
respect
fierce.
for them folk down in Alabama, man.
Oh, yeah.
I really do, because the folks that did it, I ain't talking about the ones that sat on the sideline.
No, the ones that did it.
I'm talking about the people that did it.
Yeah,
Right.
it took 3 years, didn't it?
Nah, about a year.
About a
A little bit of
year.
year, yeah. But I'm talking about not only with Birmingham, I mean with Montgomery. We went on a civil rights tour this summer. And we went through Alabama. And then ended at the civil rights, the EGI, the Equal Justice Institute.
Okay.
Go there. If you go to Montgomery, you got to go there, because that's where they got the lynching memorial. Okay? You can bring that lynching memorial back, and they want you. They got one hanging, and they got one down on the ground, and they want you to get a committee together and get a group of people together. And that's why I didn't know when I first went, but that was the purpose of us going, because we had the leadership of Murray County on that bus with us, black and white,
The lynching.
to bring that lynching memorial back. And we're going to try to bring that lynching memorial back.
What is a lynching memorial? What is it?
It's got the names of the men that were lynched. And actually, to be totally honest with you, some more names that need to be up there on that list.
How big
It's
is the
about
list?
5 names on there. The last person that officially got lynched in Murray County was a guy by the name of Cordy Cheek. And
Oh,
Cordy
they have
Cheek-
it specifically Murray County. They have the.
Dude, it's one inside the memorial, the actual museum. They have dirt from the sites in a jar, and it's got the name of the person and the date that they got lynched. And then at the site is a hanging it's a hanging memorial, and it's literally a block of iron that's hanging, just like a ceiling fans hanging. But it's a
Yeah.
block, and it's got the county, the state, and the names of the people who were lynched. See,
And
we
it's
had
5 of them from Murray County.
it's 5 of them. You have, and it's actually more than that. You
Right.
had several people who were lynched in Murray County. It's probably about 12, 15 men that got lynched. And I'm talking about post-slavery. From 1870-ish, at the end of Reconstruction, I'm going to say 1872. From 1872 to 1933, it's about 15 men that we know that got lynched.
Yeah, lynching was legal until the 60s.
Oh, it wasn't. It was very easy for you to get in. And out
Yes,
here in this area right here, when you go down the road a little bit on the other side, you're gonna go to Williamsport. Okay, dude It was a kid got off train down there to go see his granddaddy. He came from West Tennessee. Name was Wilson. They don't never talk about this one. Guy got off the train down there to go see his granddaddy. Somewhere in this time frame, a girl down there, a 14-year-old girl, was sexually assaulted. She didn't see the guy who did. The guy knocked her down and did whatever he's going to do to this kid.
Right.
Well, they came out and said, well, who's down there? Well, they took the dogs out and everything. Well, come to find out, Mr. Wilson's grandson was down there visiting his granddad. Guy was about 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
Arrested. Brought him back to Columbia and back then you could get arrested and they had your trial later on that day.
Man.
Okay? Immediately. And they had a jury and everything set up. Well, they had this trial. The girl comes in there. And the girl's mama. White girl, white woman. This is Mr. Wilson's grandson. He didn't rape her. He didn't do this to me. He didn't hurt me.
They already knew him. They knew him.
They knew it. They seen him go in the man's house when the girl was going the other way when she got attacked.
Oh.
This is not the kid that did this. Then the next thing you know, the jury, after hearing her say that, the jury found him guilty. Well, the judge said, I'm throwing out the jury's verdict and I'm ruling him not guilty and you need to go. Mm-hmm. Guy was getting ready to leave. The girl's dad stands up in the courthouse, shoot him and kill him up in the middle of the courthouse.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Golly. And the dad got off?
They had his trial. They found him not guilty. See, it's very...
I knew. How did I
you
call
gotta
it?
understand something. Let me also tell you this right here. In the history of the United States, a white man who was arrested or accused of harming, hurting, killing a black person, that didn't get to be a thing where they were going to jail up until recently.
Like 70.
And I'm talking about with the Birmingham church bombing in 1970.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
That was just in the 70s?
It took them 14 years to arrest somebody for that.
Wait, that was just in the 70s?
That bombing took place 6 weeks before Dr. King got killed. I mean, JFK gets killed. Okay, so it's connections between that bombing and JFK getting killed too.
I know that.
There's some connections in there, yeah, and some connections in there with Dr. King getting killed. Okay.
With the JFK, like LinkedIn?
And with the Birmingham bombing, yeah. You had a group of racists, man, it was no joke. Yeah. And they still in operation right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? They still in operation right now. And they got away with some stuff. One of those cats was on the corner when JFK drove down. JFK drove down Commerce, turned on to Houston. Dude standing on the corner of Houston and Elm Street. JFK gets killed on Elm. Standing there, looking.
The whole time just too calm.
Okay, now, the Friday before, JFK goes to Dallas.
Yeah.
He down in Miami tells his friend down there and say, hey, you ain't gonna see your boy in JFK in Miami no more. Told him. This dude right here, the same guy, his best friend recorded him. Alright? So his best friend is a snitch for the police. Mm-hmm. But he's recording. Said, and he said, I said, whatever. I said, well, if he gets killed, we're going to have to know where we at. He said, don't worry about it. They're going to pick up somebody after, so we'll just throw everybody out. He knew the whole plot. I said, how you think they're going to do it then? They're going to kill him from an office building with a high-powered rifle. Okay? So he knew the whole plot. And listen to this. Same dude. Willis Somerset. Same guy. Called the same detective he was snitching to.
Yeah.
April 3rd, 1968. Said, look here, I'm in Memphis. You got to get me up out of here now. Because they're going to kill Martin Luther King tomorrow and I don't want to be around to take the fall for it.
Oh, shit. Willis Somerset. Bet I look at it.
Google him.
Yo, I'm glad you mentioned the word snitch. It made me think of some stuff. All right.
Here we go. Here it is. Snitch Talk 101.
No, I want bro opinion on this because you used to be a law enforcement officer.
Right.
And all right, locally, this is just a question that I have locally. Is the portion of of arrests made, does it come from good investigative police work or does it just come from the majority of people telling each other? Like if you had to think about people actually arrest that lead to prison time, that lead to jail time, lead to convictions? Does it come from the investigative work that goes into it, or just somebody else got messed up? And
that's how complicated this thing really is, right there.
Yeah.
What seems to be what's happening ain't what's happening. Let me put it like this, and I'm not gonna include names or anything like that, but I'll tell you one of the responsibilities of the things that I did when I worked there.
Right.
That back hallway was where the judge is basically wrong.
Okay.
I've taken incarcerated to the back hallway, if I could tell you that, and I don't take them back there
Just
for coffee and cookies type
Right.
stuff.
Right.
Even with me doing that, there were deeper things that was happening behind my eyes that I was not allowed to see.
Right.
Above
so-
your pay grade.
I would say
Yeah.
above my pay grade,
Right.
But it wasn't. I mean, if you just pay attention, you see it, you understand it, you can connect. Why is this happening? Okay, I see what y'all trying to do. So I would know what they were trying to do. That pressure that they put on someone and say, "Hey, if you give me this, we'll do this" type of
Right.
stuff. So that happens. But also, while that's happening, the other thing is happening. Some of these people that I'm taking back there already work with them. So. And for the longest, even when I was still there, I would tell a lot of people, I said, "Hey man, that game, it's over. Hang up. Drug game, whatever game, you hang it up. If you think technology is where it is now and that they ain't got a clue, they're allowing technology to be here.
Right.
They've already been advanced past this to have used it and to set you up. Even it's over. So even when you're not trying to be a snitch,
They got
you a snitch.
Right.
Exactly.
Snitching on yourself.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's that deep that people, you don't pay attention to the stuff you do that will hang yourself up, and all it takes for them to say, "Okay, I got them. So now we're gonna see how much we can get out of them."
Right.
Because now that we got you, we gonna put this over your head, and now it's just.
I sat in the courtroom and I brought a guy out, Hispanic guy, from Mexico.
Right.
They tracked him from Mexico. Knew where he was coming, knew what car he was in, knew the tag, knew what to be looking for.
Let them come.
Let him come.
Yep.
Through Florida, through Georgia, up into Tennessee.
Boom.
Knew he was going to be at this area at this time. Creatively, because you can't, Constitution right, they can't just pull you over for no reason, right? Everybody knows that. They got to have a reason for stopping.
Yeah.
The reason they pulled him over was he was telling the car in front of him too close. What he don't understand is that the car in front of him was them.
Yes. Oh, right.
Slow down, pull them over, find what we got to get, take them on out of here.
Yep.
The game is over, man.
Right.
But that don't even come out in court. They don't say we was the car in front of them. No one's smart enough to ask that question. They just
Shit. You set up for the okie doke.
Right.
you set up that you don't even know you set up.
And I try and tell people that too. I'm trying to tell them, I'm like, man, this technology in that dope game is over.
It's done.
It's over. You want to be in a dope game?
Listen,
Move to Colorado and grow some weed.
If
It's
they
over.
have not got you yet, it's because they want you sitting out there.
Right. You are feeding them information enough too long. Let me tell you, when they did that big roundup in Mount Pleasant and all that stuff, I was doing video work for like 8 people.
Yeah.
So I know damn well my name had to come across something at some point.
Oh, easily.
Or you know what I'm
Easily.
saying?
Yeah.
So like,
And you have video.
yes, and I mean I've never surrendered no video to nobody.
No, I'm saying,
but
that's
you
what
know
they're
what
thinking,
though?
like-
You know what though? I have been contacted through email before asking if I wanted to sell my videotapes. And I even contacted the person that the tapes was on and was like, "Hey, look, somebody contacted me asking about selling your footage." They told me, they said, offer them $5,000 and see if they take it. I said, all right, for them $5,000 they can have it. They said, how about, 200? Like, no. You know, I would never sell my clients out like that.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They have to buy the DVD.
Right, yeah.
You got to buy the DVD to get the
You
information.
gotta see the edited version.
Right.
Let me say something that Mr. Frizzy over there didn't say. I'm gonna tell you something I learned a long time ago. I've seen a whole lot. I've been around a whole lot. I tell people, I told the story. I saw $1 million one time in the trunk of a car in Fairview Park. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
All right, now I'm letting you know. Now I ain't gonna tell you who it was.
Right.
goodness.
I come from old school. Now, I caught a lot of flack from people when I was working at the courthouse. You snitching, you snitching. And I was like, how am I snitching when I ain't even out there with y'all?
Right.
I ain't got nothing to tell them.
All right? How am I snitching? Okay, well, you believe what you want to, because it ain't no amounts of convincing somebody.
No, once somebody got their mind made up.
Once they got their
did.
mind made up, and see, a lot of time, what a lot of people don't understand is your enemies will deceive you.
Yeah.
And it's one thing Shakespeare said.
I love Shakespeare.
He said, "There's no honor amongst thieves."
Right. Right. You got to
If
charge that
somebody,
to the
if
game.
somebody is willing to serve their mama, or serve their sister, or serve their family
I ain't care
on the
about
street,
you.
they a villain. They not gonna help you. And if you selling with them, it's dog eat dog. This is do or die, man, on the street. You ain't got no friends.
Right.
Yeah, and that's it.
If you want to listen to anything, it's a DVD I got at school. It's American Gangster, the first series.
I got the first season.
The first
I still
season.
got it too.
That whole first season. Go back on that DVD tonight and look
Everybody
on
told.
the bonus features. When they pull in the dude that used to be on the wire, I think his name is Melvin Williams.
Yeah.
All right? When they pull him in there, he says something. This is a championship Hall of Fame dope man. If it's a such thing as a Hall of Fame for
He's
dope
definitely
men,
in it.
he got to be a first ballot, first time person you put
You
in there.
getting in.
All right?
Yes.
He said something. He said, if any of y'all out there thinking about doing this, he said, I got something to tell you. They arrested all of us,
And we
and they going to get you too.
Yeah.
And we smarter than
Okay? And these dudes that they had on American
y'all.
Gangster,
Geniuses.
them folks right there was legitimate. The first people to do this,
They wrote the book.
they wrote the book on it. So when you out there,
It
Frank Lucas, he went to the doggone Golden Triangle. You hear what I'm saying?
Right.
He got the means and the resource. Well, he didn't tell his full story either, because if you truth be told, he was flying it back on the doggone soldiers' planes. They dead on it, so you know that man knew what he had on it.
Right.
So why was he letting? Why did they let Melvin and Frank and all these people live when they killed Martin Luther King?
Right.
Because
That's all I got to say. If you want to know anything about that, all of that was going on at the same time.
wow, that makes so much sense.
All of that was going on at the same
Bro.
time, dude.
Bro, what he just said, bro. Oh,
They killed Martin Luther King, shot Martin Luther King, a preacher,
Malcolm X.
in the
Fred
mouth,
Hampton.
shot and blew his jaw off. This man had 4 kids, man, and a wife, and they killed him like a dog. And they let these people live. These people killed our whole community, man.
Oh, bro.
You know, we make
it had to
heroes out of people. We
So-
should be making villains out of.
And you know what? I talk to Brandon about this all the time. He kind of gets mad when I tell him this. But I tell
Depends what
us
you
as
say.
a culture, we have got to stop glorifying the dope man. Got to.
Our culture's been destroyed.
Yeah.
Our culture's been hijacked and criminalized. And dude, I'm telling you, I read. I can't let y'all know all my secrets.
Okay.
I can't let y'all know, because back when I was about 30, back when I started going into some of the stuff that I'm talking to y'all about tonight, and started to understand and research and study what was done to us.
Right.
Oh man,
Man, I had
it's
to
so,
break
bro.
I had to break
Man.
myself away from that.
Man,
Okay?
hey,
I had
I'm
to break
addicted.
myself away from
I
it.
can't stop. That's all.
Well-
I don't play video games. I don't watch sports. That's all I
Okay,
do
but see,
all
that's the
day.
thing. This you where I used to be. But I'm telling you, I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you something. When you go research all of this, my grandmama, who was 9th grade educated woman, was blue collar worker. She told me something one time. When I was getting about 13, 14, 15 years old, and I was hanging around these people, she told me something. She said, I'm gonna tell you one thing. She worked at the hospital. My grandmother was a mulatto. She was half Italian. So when you saw her, you couldn't tell who she was.
That's what my father was. He looked
Okay.
like Smokey Robinson. Go ahead.
So she got access into some places where she wouldn't have normally been.
Right.
She was on the elevator with some doctors, and the doctors were having a conversation about integration, and said, "Well, you know, we got to integrate this hospital." And he said, "Well, we're gonna do something to make it to where they ain't gonna never want to be with us.
That makes so much sense.
My grandmama said about 2 weeks later she saw weed. Now she said she ain't saying that them men did that. But she said it was mighty funny, and she always correlated that. She said it was 2 weeks later, all of a sudden these kids were smoking marijuana. Black kids. My uncle was one of them. Okay? She said she could come home and smell something funny. She thought the dog done peed in the house. This is what it showed was smoking weed. You feel me? Now, I understand there's some people out there want to do that. And I'm gonna hold my displeasure with that for a while and let you know. But at the same time, we were integrating. They was trying to mess our mind up.
Yeah.
So if you go watch Bastards of the Party,
Yes.
which is one of the greatest documentaries
Ever made.
was, okay,
Please
for
go
black
look it up.
people. My man has a vignette going from the 60s to the 70s. Had Superfly on there. Had my man, he said, oh, we ain't about that no more, brother. We on the street. We finna do what we gonna do. That movie, Blaxploitation, love my Blaxploitation movies. Now, I love them jokers now. Don't get me wrong. However, if you ain't got good common sense, or if you caught that at the right time in your upbringing, you gonna catch hold of that. That's gonna get you. Right?
Yeah.
My man said something in that movie. He said, what was the result of that movie? He said, there's a whole lot of people out there in the Inglewood Cemetery dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I remember that part.
Let me jump in here real quick, kind of to go along present day version of what you're talking about. We were just talking about this earlier.
Yes.
And he was asking me, what is causing all these people with this heroin now and stuff like that. Let's back up. Let's say 4 years ago, 5 years ago, where we had the opiate pill crisis here, where everybody was on them pills and everybody they was going to Chapel Hill getting them pills from them doctors and they was getting all them opiates, okay?
Cornwall.
Yeah, they was going all this out. And then all of a sudden, all that shit dried up and heroin appeared. Heroin was here after that,
I ain't never seen heroin.
Here.
I'm talking about I saw crack.
Yeah.
I saw cocaine.
Yeah.
I saw it on school bus.
Crack country.
The first drug dealers in town, I knew them cats very well.
Crack country.
But
That's what-
didn't see no heroin.
Yeah.
Now Frank was in my class during that time. What I tell y'all, Frank? Long time ago. Didn't I tell y'all I said that all the folks smoking weed now, by the time y'all get ready to get grown, they're going to be doing heroin and cocaine and stuff. They're going to go to something high. See, nobody believe that. See, you got a whole lot. It's some psychological things going on, man. Y'all, we living in a time that you ain't got no money. I'm working 2 jobs.
Right. Shoot, yeah.
You got these cats up here, GM, timeout, GM workers, all of y'all up here, solidarity to you. And I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all are fighting for everybody.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I seen
Okay, you ain't just fighting up there for you. You fighting for me. Okay, you fighting for all the blue collar people.
Right.
And a lot of folks don't understand that. Okay, I don't understand it
lot
because
don't.
we getting pimped. All right, we having to go work. So
Right.
when you look in the situation that you in, you 20 years old, you 25 years old, and your life ain't nothing.
Right.
Like you perceiving it that way. Because see, when you watch TV, they don't show you suffering on TV.
Right.
Let's take
It's
black.
all
let's
lit,
take,
turned up,
Let's take
everything.
black entertainment for a minute, and we go back into what I was saying earlier with your Superfly and them. At least Superfly and them Blaxploitation movies still had some reality-based stuff. You were seeing America, Black America, as it was.
Poverty.
Right.
You
Yeah,
wasn't
poverty.
seeing it as some fantasy like you looking at on OWN network, on Empire, where you everybody some superstar rapper or whatever it is. I've been around a long time, dude. I know maybe a handful of people that made it in the rap game.
Right.
Dude, talking 40 years old, talking about he got a mixtape coming out next week. Dude. Seriously, whatever you got going on, I do your thing. Do what you gonna do. Okay, don't give up on what you doing. However, at a certain time,
You gotta be
in a
realistic.
certain spot, I knew when I got married. I got married at 25. Now me and my wife started dating at 20. All right. Now I love my wife. Me and my wife had a conversation on our first date. All right, she gonna be there. I didn't know that then.
Right.
She knew it. My grandmama knew it. Both of them. All right. People, older folks seen it and saw it. When you get a certain age, that book said, Frank, when I was a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, you put away childish things.
Right. That's kind of like when, not the interruption, but when you bring up our culture and everything, that's kind of like what I'm be trying to get to. In my eyes, with a culture that pretty much is the highest influence in the whole world, we've only been free 55 years.
You ain't free now.
I chuckle, yeah. That's why I chuckle. You ain't free now.
But I'm saying,
but we don't
you know what I'm saying?
understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get what I mean? Like integrated, able to vote. That, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So our culture is young, and then once you really get into what has been done in between the right to vote and now, you've had the Iran-Contra scandal, you've had syphilis and Tuskegee, you know what I'm saying? It's always been something in the midst of, you had the Black Panther Party and all those assassinations and all that. So I feel like I give us more credit, I think. I feel like if you really look at it, you take a step back and look at timeline-wise, the impact that we have and the impact and things that have been done to us in such a short amount of years, what do you expect? You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing:
it's
every
equal
year,
parts. You know what I mean?
every year that passes, the gap expands.
Yeah.
So we gonna have to play double time catch up. We ain't got time to be out here fucking with this heroin, falling back.
We catching
That's
up
why.
now.
That's why when you hear older folks say, "Oh, they set us back 2 years." Them 2 years is crucial. You know what I mean? They set us back 10 years. Them 10 years is crucial because that gap every year that passes, that gap jumps. It's getting to the point that the gap jumps. It's jumping for white folks. They falling back from the rich to 1%.
And that's scary. That's what I told some kids, man. I had a group of kids in my class, the white kids, and they were vibing. And I was talking to them cats, and I said, it's scary to me to see what's going on in white America right now. Because if they dropped a crack bomb on us 30 years ago, okay? And I'm seeing what happened in our neighborhood. You know, y'all never have seen East Hill when East Hill was real.
Right.
Okay? We're going to take Columbia. Columbia had 23,000 people in it. Do you understand, man? My granddaddy used to come home from work, and that joker was clean, had his pressed pants, alligator shoes on. I didn't know that joker had a job that was that dangerous and that nasty.
Coming from the mink side?
No, he was coming from Monsanto down the street over here.
Oh, the one that closed down.
He came from Monsanto plant, clean every day. But they used to make them take a shower because they didn't want them bringing their contaminated stuff home. They had to take a shower, but he was clean when he came home. And we saw that. I saw generations of men in East Hill. Okay?
Right.
The granddaddies.
Right.
My daddy. Uncles. Everybody I knew was working black.
Yeah.
They had stuff. And you think about that time period, they had stuff. My granddad had a car, 2 cars. Grandmama had a car. They had a nice house.
Did your mother work?
My mama was working.
Oh, she was
okay,
working
my
too?
mom and dad were blue collar people. Okay,
Right.
my dad was a factory worker. My mother was a cosmetologist, so they had to go to work.
Right.
But they worked. They had stuff. Our generation, and I'm including myself in with y'all, our generation ain't gonna live that good.
No,
all right?
not at all.
They got us up under extreme stress, and it's like that. We didn't have video games in the 70s.
Right.
We had the Super Bowl long electric
The vibrating one?
the vibrating board that you put the men on and you turn it on. You can set all the men up just as perfectly as you could. Have them in order like you wanted to go, and you hit that electricity, and they be riding, turning this circle. That's what they are doing to the population.
Got to spin it in circles.
They got the electricity on us. They're turning off here now and then. Just like right now in Columbia, we in a period of time which electricity is not on. We really, hold on, listen to them now. We ain't got no killing going on, gang bang style, because they done put all them cats in jail. You ain't got all that going on right now. You got a lot of deaths from overdoses and stuff going on. That's the calm before the storm. because about 2 or 3 more years, they're going to hit the electricity again and have all of us spinning. It's done on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to give us enough time to get our bearings together to be able to come up with a plan to counter what's going on. During slavery, you talked about the time period that we in, this 55-year time period. Dude, slavery was from 1619
To 1865.
until 1865. Then you had the Reconstruction era. Then you had all that World War One. It's never been a time that we've been good, but we were close. Yeah. So let me go on to some more scripture. I don't preach, but I will hit you with some scripture. That book said, Frank, and the man said it, so it was in red. What do it profit a man gain the world and lose his soul?
Yes.
Black folk gained the world and lost our soul. They called us soul people, soul brother. What's up, soul sister?
Right. Yeah.
I got soul. Then you come on Soul Train every Saturday. You ain't got that no more. So what you got?
We got
And that ain't it.
Look, can I jump in? When my family from Detroit would come down here, and just back in the day, and black folks, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Nod the head back. They be like, you know them. They wasn't used to that.
Blows their mind.
But now, if you do that today, them kids in them skinny jeans will look at you like you crazy, like they ready to kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But look at your culture. You talking about culture. Look at how y'all came down here. The Detroit people came down. It wasn't no big deal for the Detroit people come down here because we went up there. They ain't doing them coming home.
Right.
All right. But now you got folk coming in from the West Coast to
Cali.
Columbia. I ain't even talking about Cali. I'm talking about Oregon, Washington.
Yeah, I knew it.
You got folk coming here from Vermont. Oh, and you know where I work at because I work with your mom. What are you doing here in town? Oh, we come here because we heard it's so wonderful to live here. What you moving in for? Because they done ran them out from where they is because them people under stress too. Everybody under stress.
Yeah, man.
If you look, I put on Facebook earlier today, I don't know if you saw it. An average man now is making $200 and some odd dollars less than he was 44 years ago.
Right.
That's why I stay on this one thing, man. Like I said, a lot of stuff that they push out will destroy your community. Yeah. Back in the day, it was easier when we used to have this mentality of a man take care of the household, right?
That's right.
But today, a man taking care of the household, you better get it. The woman got to help. The pay that a person is getting, he gonna have to work 3 jobs.
Yeah,
and you never gonna see him if he's really taking care of the household.
You sacrifice your life.
They changed that whole game.
That paradigm got shifted. Yes.
And if folk, I still when I run across a girl that be like, I want a man that can take care of it, I leave her the heck alone. I run. It's not gonna happen in today's time.
It's not realistic.
It's not real at all.
So do you think you talking about? Excuse me, man. That woman that you talking about, God bless her, she has never really seen a real male-female interaction, and that's deeper too because in our community, you done had all this foolishness pumped into our people.
Oh yes,
in which we can't even love each other no more.
Right.
Okay, I ain't got no problem with interracial relationship, but we can't love each other no more.
Yeah.
I had girlfriends. My 2 high school sweethearts lived around the corner from me. Okay. That's a whole other big dynamic in and of itself. But they live down the street. I knew their grandmama and granddad. And they
family knows. Yeah,
we knew each other. We knew because you had to then because being from Columbia, you had to know who you was talking to because you might be kin.
Right.
All right. So you had that girl right there. She kin. You can't stay holler it up.
Right.
So you had it. We don't even teach you. They and I'm sorry. I got to say this. Okay. And I don't want no friction between my gay friends. But it's more apropos in our community to be gay than it is for a black man, black woman love each other. Now that's when you need to be trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
But it's a lot. It's almost preached and taught for us to not get along anymore, not accept each other. You know, even with the reality TV, they don't be enjoying themselves on reality TV. They be arguing, and all they find is new catchphrases to argue and put somebody down, and new catchphrases to be, you know, more witty in an argument. They never find out how people actually turning up, enjoying this money, enjoying this fame. That's not shown.
I try to get people to pay attention to that because I turn my TV off. I'm not going to be a TV watcher because I understand the only thing that's going to be on that TV is what they want you to see.
Right.
They got control of that. So that is able to feed you whatever they want you to be fed to do whatever it is objectively that they want to accomplish. And we fall for it every time.
Every time.
We fall for it every time. And we don't see it. I'm not blaming us for being what we are as human. I tell people all the time, we are ignorant. If you don't think you ignorant, then tell me what's happening over across the street right now.
Right.
You don't see it. You don't have no knowledge of it. You have to accept what we are. We are ignorant, and as soon as you understand how ignorance really works, it's the lack of knowledge, not knowing. At that point, you are able to set yourself on a different foundation to not fall for stuff.
Right.
But if you can't do that, man, they pulling you like a puppet all the way around. All day, every day. And I a lot of my words, spoken word, when I do this is what I do. I want people to understand that you can't just be living here without purpose like that.
Right.
You can't just
gotta have your purpose.
Man, you can't just be going along with stuff just because it's what's the trending thing to do.
Exactly.
Because you become just as much as the issue that you want to fight against. You don't even realize you be causing the problem that you want to stop.
Right. Go ahead.
And when you were in law enforcement, how many years were you?
I did 11 years total. I was 3 years in the prison and 8 years as a deputy sheriff.
All right. Which one did you like better?
Neither one of them.
But did you ever have a moment to where you felt like that might be happening, like with what you wanted to do in the community and with the way you would? Obviously, you have this pure intention to make people see that they can change the circumstance and help them with that. But did you find that in that line of work that it was, you know what I mean? Like you weren't able to do it you
weren't impacting the community the way that you thought you were before
I'll answer your question very creatively how it happened to me, right? Because when I first started in this field, I didn't have this mindset. I had the other mindset. I was ignorant. I was blind. My father was a minister. I was raised up in the church. I was taught these certain things. I was guided this certain way. So I was in a box that I didn't see that I was in. And what ended up happening to me is being in law enforcement pulled me outside of this box to explore all these other things that was happening.
Right.
So when that happened to me, I started seeing that people not awake or in their box were not able to get out of that box until something happened to be able to show them that. That happened to me. So that's when I kind of woke up to a lot of stuff. And, you know, I had this mentality, and I still, even right now today, I'll be honest and open. Me and my sisters, we are not on the same page. Everybody's got their success level of stuff. I got a sister that got a doctorate, another one that's finna get a doctorate in the nursing field.
Right.
I mean, successful people. And we all had this mentality of, if we could just get in there, we can be that change that needs to happen to make things better.
Right.
I woke up before all of them. They still sleep.
Right.
They still sleep.
So what did you wake up to the?
I woke up and I said, you know, I got to get up out of this thing.
Yeah.
Because in this thing, there is no change.
Right.
It's set up when people all the time say we got to fix this system. It ain't broken. It's running just like it need to be running.
Just like they wanted it to.
And if you think you're going to fix it, that's what they want you to do. Get up in here and watch these policies, these procedures, and this stuff that you got to follow, and watch you do it. If you don't think you're going to do it, people come up missing.
Right.
Yeah. I can tell you a story about and it just don't even make sense. You can't make it make sense to you. Where a judge went to another judge's house and committed suicide. Does that even sound right? Why am I going to go to your house
to commit
to kill myself? And both of us are judges.
What?
Yeah.
What? All right.
That's
So
deep.
man went to another man's house and went to the bathroom and blew his brains out.
On his land. Found him on his land.
I'm just over here.
That's that thing of
He didn't even go in the house. He just
No. Well, by
Just found him on the
story,
lane.
by story, that's how it happened, right? But like, does that make sense? Like, why?
I
I
walked
can do
outside
that at
and he was
home.
right here.
It's kind of like The Witness. The Witness, they said that in
Amber Geiger.
Yeah, they said he was driving 4 hours to get a sack of weed.
Yeah, that's
Ain't no nigga in the history of niggas
Yeah.
driving 4 hours to get a sack of
So
weed.
So when you're able
Well,
to
they about to
see
go down.
those
Yeah.
powers to be able to manipulate like that, you don't want to be a part of that,
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
it comes down to that real survival of the fittest. And this thing, if we understand that it wasn't set up with us in mind at the beginning,
Well,
No.
All right.
what makes you think it's
Church.
still set up
Church.
now and ain't nothing
Right.
changed?
Ain't nothing
Can
changed.
we get church?
Church.
Church. Hold on, let me turn it on. Ain't go up. Church. Church.
So
Yes.
that was my wake up part, and when I woke up to it and having that mindset of thinking like I can be up in there, I can run for sheriff, I can be the sheriff, and I said no, that killed me.
Yeah.
So let me resign.
They'll set you up for some bullshit.
Oh yeah. Let me
dope.
resign and really get active in doing the stuff that I need to do to really help community. And I'll tell you right now, this is the hardest thing that I'm doing because I know my community sleep.
Right.
It's sad to know their sleep. Because it's a whole nother pressure in life. Like you be like, man, am I really finna take this on? Am I really finna do this? Like I know what I'm up against,
But you
but
got to.
I push. It's hard because you have to. If you have any purpose, you ain't got no choice but to do it. After that, it ain't nothing else to live for once you see that.
And when you make them steps, you better have your house in order. Because
No.
if they find a hole in that house, they push it. It
They
might be a
coming.
hole that big. By the time it's done, be that big.
They're
That's the
coming,
scariest
and
part about the podcast.
Yeah,
it is.
Oh man, that's a thing that I know. They are so creative. A lot of people think death is the worst thing. They are so creative. Like when we talk about the Bill Cosby thing, and when we talk
Oh man,
crazily,
that's creative as hell.
I want people to really kind of dig into what's really going on, even with the R. Kelly situation.
Oh, yeah,
and
most
with,
definitely.
with a lot of this stuff. But, man, dude, I'll tell you right now, I'd rather you commit murder and get charged with a murder conviction than to get convicted of a sexual assault, especially in the state of Tennessee, because it's like a permanent conviction. Even once you've done your time,
It don't even matter.
you are still seen as a sex offender. You gotta go register. You gotta go check in. You can't live in this area.
Right.
It's
And if you leave
a
any-
lifetime sentence.
If you leave
of
any
torture.
detail out, they will put your
Gonna
ass.
lock you right back
You'll
up for
show right back
violation.
up in mobile
Figure out
patrol
why
as
you
a
ain't
sex
do
offender
this.
again, and ain't even committed.
Listen, so
Ain't
when
even done it.
don't make. That's why certain female I can't deal with. If they seem like they had that little attitude or that little part that they might get offended and just, I know some of them that lie.
Yeah. I was about to ask in your time in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Did you,
Shoot, yeah, I know them. I know. I'll tell you a specific situation that I was literally involved in. I knew the girl and I knew the guy, so I know she was lying.
oh,
And I couldn't. I was trying to save him. I was trying to tell him, dude, listen, this girl she doesn't have her marbles. She
gotta leave
and
her alone.
it ain't even her fault. She was messed up from her environment. She didn't even realize how bad she was.
Oh.
But this is what I woke up to. I'm like, even she can't control herself from what she's doing because she sees things differently.
Right.
So I'm trying to help
Perspective.
him, dude. Run. Don't do it. He messed around and got her pregnant. I was like, oh my God, his life is over. And he did not believe me. She lied, took him to the court, said he hit her. She felt threatened for him, put the baby on the same order of protection.
Wow.
This nut still goes back over there and see her when she, you can come around, whatnot. And as soon as she get mad, she call the police and violate the order of protection, lock him up again. Same process. That's how
and
bad,
over again.
and sadly, I wish I could say she's choosing to do it. She just that damaged that she don't realize that she's bad and she's using the system for what it's not built for.
Right.
Well, I ain't gonna say what it's not built for. It's built for it. It's built to keep this thing going on because
perpetual thing going.
while he's going through that, he'll never be able to help a community.
No.
He'll never be able to get his mind in the right place
Right.
to do anything to thrive, even to make her better. I was trying to keep you from making her worse by not talking to her, and then you did the opposite and talked to her and made her worse.
Sometimes you gotta leave shit in the yard.
Man, run.
Let me add on something that Mr. Frank is saying right now about that. From my line of work, and Frank, I don't know how deep you got into it, but from my study and my education and my experiences, one of the things that I was brought up learning to do or learning to process is that when you have a crime that's committed, it's certain things that don't meet the level of being criminal. Okay? And when you start bringing up the whole sexual thing, which we know everything that's immoral might not be illegal. And there are some things that's legal that's immoral.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? We have gone from a time we are drifting back into the dark ages.
Oh yeah.
We are devolving as a society. And we can talk about the black society, but this is for society in general.
All in general.
Okay?
Man.
I
1984
want to
shit
make
going on.
sure,
For real.
personally, that if you do something to somebody, it don't make no difference what it is, that we're going to try to make sure that you go to jail for it. If you are harming a person, if you're committing what they call a mala and say crime, which is bad in itself. You got some crimes as crimes in every society.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Rape, murder, robbing and stealing, all that's going to be bad anywhere. Okay? We can have levels in this society to determine the severity and what we're going to do with you on that.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, that being said, if any investigation, if we went by what we were talking about, he was asking you the question, you were asking Frank earlier.
Right.
How hard is it, or what level of people go to prison
Based on telling.
based upon snitching or whatever?
Yeah.
You come to find out most people go to prison based upon the fact they made a plea.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
copped the deal. All right. So when you get into that, you learn that they don't have a lot of evidence on some of these folks. So when you start getting into evidence,
Say that word one more time.
evidence, proof.
That's something
That's what I'm gonna teach next week. Proof.
That is something
Rules
that is
of
not
evidence
required nowadays.
Okay, so
Like-
when you start getting into evidence and proof, and that's one of the things that a lot of the feminists were saying, and they was making an argument, said, well, these things happen, and we, nobody believes us. People believe women when they come up and say somebody did something to them. All right?
Yeah.
The level of belief goes down the longer that you waited.
Exactly.
So how come
Right.
you didn't tell me
Exactly.
this early?
Exactly.
Okay. Now
that's for anybody.
that's not to say it didn't happen.
Right.
But it's still the
But
level of belief
The level of
goes
belief
down.
goes down.
Yeah.
So let's go to proof. If in whether or not one sex is more righteous than another sex.
Right.
All right. I told a woman last night, said men have never been worth a quarter. I mean, it's in the nature of a man not to act right.
Yeah.
But women has been what saved us.
Time and time again.
Okay?
Yes.
If you ain't got a righteous mama, you through.
Yeah.
Right.
You right. Big facts.
All right? If your mama ain't righteous,
You all the
you
way.
through.
You
Now,
SOL.
let me say this right here. I know 7 women that told somebody a baby was theirs and it wasn't.
I knew you was about to say that,
Yeah.
man.
Okay?
That
So
is mad.
if I know 7 that did that, how you gonna say that everything that come out of every woman's mouth is the truth?
You
Right.
can't. You can't. Nothing that.
So then, if you can't say that, what do we go to determine? You go to evidence and proof. Okay, this is what you go through. This is why we have a criminal justice system the way we have.
Yeah.
Right.
You cannot turn the criminal justice system into a reality show.
Right.
And that's what they turned it into.
You put R. Kelly, what he did or didn't do, I saw it on the video. If you saw the video, you did something illegal. You need to be going to jail too.
Right.
Yes.
You,
I'm gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you saw what they said he did,
Then
You was already committing the crime.
and I ain't seen it.
underage.
I ain't seen it.
Okay,
I
if
wasn't
you
old enough.
saw that,
I wasn't old enough to find it.
I know she was young. I knew she was there. If you saw that, then you just committed a crime, huh? Now, this girl put this video out about R. Kelly. R. Kelly, personally speaking, I like grown women. I always have.
Yes.
dude, if I was R. Kelly and I got famous, the first person I'm gonna go holler at was Janet Jackson. I'm not gonna go holler at Aaliyah. All right, so we know he messed up.
Right.
Let's leave that out there. But they arrested R. Kelly on some stuff that's y'all almost 20 years old. A lot of folk think this is some brand new stuff they done brought up on him. This stuff is not brand new. I've been researching. Because when they, just like Bill Cosby, when somebody tell me something, I research it.
Yeah.
My roommate's
20 years
cousin,
old.
my room, yeah, it's the old stuff. It's the same videotape everybody talking about. Dude come up and this woman bring off, they patting him on the back. I found a box of videotapes and in it, go look it up on YouTube. It's on YouTube. I saw a videotape I thought was a Bulls basketball game, but it said R. Kelly, and I looked at it and it was him on here with these. That ain't nothing new. So what you ain't listening to, what I'm listening to is, how did you get it?
That's what I'm.
But they ain't focusing on that.
How you just find a
See, that's
random
how you
tape.
bring this stuff out in the media, and you put it up for people ain't think, oh, he's just so awful, which he is. He's awful. He was doing such and such because you already know that he did X, Y, and Z 15 years ago when they brought the other tape out. That was 5 years old.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That tape was old. It wasn't a new tape.
But him being awful and him being guilty of this is
Now,
two different things.
Well, he was guilty.
he was guilty.
He was guilty.
Sin. He was guilty.
You know what I'm
sin.
saying? What they
However,
trying to bring him up
hold
on. Yeah.
They had a trial for R. Kelly.
That's what I'm saying.
The
My
FBI,
bad.
highest investigative body in America. When the men in black show up, I'm like, okay, I'm listening to what they saying. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. I know what they did to us. Mm-hmm. I know what they did to Dr. King, and then I'm listening to what they say because they ain't playing.
No.
Yeah.
Men in black show up, they said, we can't determine what the age of this young lady is. He got acquitted in a courthouse.
Yes. Yes.
Now, because he got acquitted in a state courthouse, they bringing him up on charges in a federal courthouse now. Because the woman came out and said something, we got new evidence. Because somebody now is going to talk. Okay? That's where R. Kelly, was thing where R. Kelly coming in at.
Right.
Now, you bringing up some stuff old, and you got somebody going to talk, why come they didn't talk then? Now, whether or not they put him in jail for it, it's going to be up to a court to determine that.
Right.
But what I'm listening to,
No, he's
in the
definitely
moral
going to jail.
sense of the here and now, and sitting down at the barbershop type of style of justice, and we listening and communing as brothers.
Yeah.
What? You knew FBI, federal government, whoever, you knew then. When
What
y'all
was going on?
acquitted him, you could have brought them charges up then. Why come you didn't do it? So it's several things going on. One is the person that you got in office. And he don't want you to know who.
What's going on
Stormy
there?
Daniels.
Well, no, he don't want you to know that the boys got him.
Yeah.
Okay, they throwing distractions out there.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A magician always throw some smoke up and watch this hand right here. While this hand right here is the one that's doing something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got it's a whole bunch of stuff going on that brought this up to right now. It's a whole bunch of stuff that brought up Bill Cosby. I played rock, paper, scissors when I was a kid. Y'all don't know nothing about that because y'all video game people. You know, rock.
you mean?
rock,
right
paper,
now.
scissors, right? When you playing rock, paper,
I'm
scissors,
cold.
this man had $1 billion.
Yep.
Who got enough pull to pull $1 billion down?
Another $1 billion. Was he really trying to buy NBC?
He tried to buy CBS. He tried to buy NBC a long time ago. I suggest y'all to go and read up on Tariq Nasheed because an old wise man told me something. He told me something a long time ago. And I'm talking about TSU old, 25, 26, 27 years ago. He said all sexual smears are political.
Oh
Yeah.
Wow. That's a hell of a statement right there.
You know.
Okay?
Wow.
You got real stuff.
Right.
Real stuff.
Going
Somebody
on.
really, girls
Doing
that done really got hurt.
But them smear
That's
campaigns.
down at these courthouses that they ain't even looking at.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he know he can't prove it. However, they need some justice.
But the one, but
you gonna go pull out some R. Kelly stuff that you done already tried.
Bill
20
Cosby
years
had
ago.
what 32 women on the
all
cover of a magazine.
The women that he had on the magazine, I'm gonna break this down. I got this from Tariq Nasheed, okay? Because I can't get credit for this, and I suggest you listen to him if you ain't listening to that, bro.
No, I got all the hidden colors.
Now, I don't agree with everything he say, but I listen, and because it brought up something to me that I always have wondered. My man said that it is extortion on black entertainers that's been going all the way back to the late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
In the early 90s, before y'all time, Bill, all these women, them women, they put them old women on there, they pulled them up and had them on cover magazine talking about they was mistresses of Bill Cosby, not no rape victim. Then all of a sudden, they see people like myself, I done got an elephant memory. Okay? So you gonna pull these same women out, all of a sudden he raped me. Okay, then when you start listening to it, if you broke those 60-some women down, it was only like 5 or 6 of them that really had a credible story to tell. One of them was in a relationship with Bill Cosby. All right, let me let you in on this. The one that I'm talking about, the daughter went to Bill Cosby, told Bill Cosby, Mr. Cosby, I'm your daughter. If you don't give me $40 million, I'm going to go to the world and tell you, everybody that you my daughter.
40 M's.
He slammed the door in her face, called the police. This girl just came on my house trying to blackmail me. You heard me? She had two dudes with her. The 2 dudes that was with her was of a certain country that's got some interesting stuff going on with our president right now. All right. Well, then all of a sudden, that night, Bill Cosby's son get killed.
Wait, but didn't the person oh, you already know the killer of Bill Cosby's son.
Well, you know, I know what you're about to say. Go ahead.
But like the killer of Bill Cosby's son was Russian though.
Ukrainian, yeah.
Ukraine, yeah, over there. Cause I remember that because it was like crazy. Because
ain't nobody talking
because
about
when they
that.
asked, they would ask because Bill Cosby's son got killed on the freeway.
Oh, I know the full story.
So when they would be like, why, who does a carjacking on the freeway? They tried to say, well, that's how they do it over there. That he brought that style of burglary or robbing.
Yeah, that's what they do. Listen to this. Who came up for parole 2 or 3 days after they put Bill Cosby in jail? Dude to kill Enos Cosby.
Get out of here.
If I'm lying, it came from Dr. Cosby's wife.
Wait, his son's murder went up for parole days after he got convicted and put in jail. After he got sentenced.
They thought Dr. Cosby's wife was slipping. Her people was on there. No, he ain't getting out. And I said he ain't getting out. They from parole, dude. They ain't been 20 years, dude.
They ain't even been 20. That's about 11.
Now hold on. Let me break this down to you. I'm finna break it down some more because Tariq Nasheed kind of laid the timeline out.
Okay.
All right. Then you got Bill Cosby. What happened to Easy?
Oh man, somebody gave him something.
Okay, but
They showed that in the movie.
everybody.
We saw straight outta Compton.
It was Suge Knight.
You know what?
Okay, hold on. I'm finna get deeper. What happened to Tupac?
I don't even know. Pac, that's so sick.
He was running. He was running. You saw us out there in the front. It ain't who you see in the front, it's who behind. Who got the money from the record company after all these folk went to jail? Another deep documentary you need to catch. Welcome to Death Row. My man that started Solar Records, Dick Griffey. You don't know who Dick Griffey is. Dick Griffey. Dick Griffey started Solar Records, and he also was a man who was behind the scenes with Soul Train.
Yep.
Powerful dude.
There's a documentary of him on Netflix called Godfather.
He's on Welcome to Death Row. Dick Griffey at the end of that documentary says, well, who got the money? Interscope Records, man, was failing. Interscope Records was getting ready to go out of business until Death Row Records came along. All right. So then, what happened to OJ?
I feel like that man was set up, and this
Hold on.
This not gonna be
but,
popular.
But then, but why is it all these black men
feel like he was set up.
entertainers?
I'm sorry. I read To Kill a Mockingbird when I was way too young, so the OJ case really throws me.
What happened to
I feel
OJ?
like that is,
Why is it that OJ is a villain? Oh, he killed him. I know he killed. How do you know he killed? Because the TV told you.
because the TV told you. But if you really look at it, if you really, really look at it, they couldn't. But they could have put it on that man. But if you look at it, if we talking about that word evidence again,
I sat for 2 weeks for 2 years with Dr. Henry Lee in service. I had Dr. Henry Lee tell 500 policemen they were stupid at the in service, and then showed them why they were stupid and showed the evidence. And in case you don't know who Henry Lee was the expert witness for O.J. Simpson that Ralph Wilson paid for. See, Ralph Wilson was owner of the Buffalo Bill. What did I tell you earlier is rock, paper, scissors. See, if O.J. didn't have Ralph Wilson backing him, O.J. be in the pen.
Right.
Okay? He the one, they talk about all this blood they had, but this man done cut 2 people's throat, but ain't no blood on the brake pedal and on the accelerator of the car.
right? Ain't nothing.
Did he take his shoes off? Right? See, I taught y'all some of this in class.
Yeah.
Then, all right, let's get off OJ for a minute, because I can go on about OJ 3 hours. I'm finna go home and watch a football game. Let's go on a little bit further. Who was the next one they got hold to? Michael Jackson.
Man, I can't even say I've always, but Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory said, if you want to know if something ain't right, look into who gets the life insurance. Look who gets the life insurance money. Who gets paid out. He was like, and if you look at it, his mama ain't even in the will, and his kids' names are spelled wrong. He said, if that don't let you know that something was off, you got a $1 billion life insurance policy, and your kids' names ain't even spelled right. He said, if that don't at least let you know a little something.
To let you know, the people out there that don't know who Dick Griffey is, let y'all know Dick Gregory, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Dick Gregory is the man that was responsible for putting the Zapruder film on television.
Mm-hmm. The Zapruder film, Ron Brown.
Now, let me go a little bit further. We ain't even gonna get into Ron Brown because that's political. But then, what happened to Prince?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
The Gregory tell
I
you
did a show.
about that.
I did a show with. I did a show on the Coles Views.
By Prince.
She had me on 2 hours. Because you know the reason why? Because y'all know, everybody know I'm a Prince fan.
Yeah.
Everybody know that was my man.
Yeah.
He had more fentanyl in his system that could have killed half Columbia. He had record-breaking numbers of fentanyl. I don't have the actual numbers to throw out there to you, but he had 60% more than the average overdose death.
Jesus.
Okay, where did this man dude was going getting him these pain pills? Oh, Prince was an addict. Now something happened to Prince.
Yeah.
But
Something happened to him. But did he think these people was helping him?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they done got him woe down. Why was Prince's agent done got rid of his royalties, and she was setting up his royalties to come through to her in an unknown thing?
Right.
See, it's more to this. Then all of a sudden, and it pains me to know it, but then Prince had that incident on the airplane where they had to revive him.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the same thing that killed him.
And that plane was owned by Warren Buffett, by the way.
Okay. But whatever happened to him, which they wanted him to die on that plane.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got him 2 days later, 4 or 5 days later, in at his house. He had 2 bottles of pills. He had 1 bottle of Aleve.
Yeah.
Had another bottle of Bear Aspirin. Supposedly, in those 2 bottles was Vicodin, hydrocodone, and Tylenol tablets. But when they analyzed, we couldn't find out the tablets. It was 33 in 1 bottle, 60 in another. 1 bottle had probably 15% was fake. The other bottle had 5% that was fake. And one of those bottles had a pill that had enough Vicodin in it to kill half of Colombia.
You're talking about fentanyl. Had enough fentanyl.
Had enough fentanyl, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you go.
Had enough fentanyl. It was a fake Vicodin pill.
Yeah, I read that.
The press.
I posted it on the page a week ago.
They pulled the DEA. When they found out the levels that he had in the system, the DEA immediately flew in from Chicago to Minneapolis, went in out there and did a search on his house because they thought they were making it out there.
Damn.
Okay? They found so much, they didn't find nothing. They have not seen a level of fentanyl in anybody's system since he died. Similar to what Prince had. One. Number two, the pills were counterfeit. So they knew that certain Chinese companies was making these fake pills. So they traced it back. All the known places in China that was doing it, they have not found a press. They did a forensic analysis on these pills. And they can tell you what pill press they came. They ain't seen it nowhere in the world.
So a special press made.
Yeah, so you take all
It
of
don't
this.
take much to make no pills.
Yeah, but usually with dealers, with people's making these pills, they see these pills pop up in certain spots.
Right,
they might
right.
pop up in Atlanta,
He
pop
got
up
a
in
one-on-one.
Chicago.
Got a special batch.
They put him a kill pill in there and
Right.
they got it. And then next thing you know, Prince, one night, several years ago, Prince, this was actually in 2015, around this time of year. Prince, he was on Twitter one night. Where Purple Rain Deluxe at? He said, you call Warner Brothers because I sent them the music. They got it. But they don't want to pay me for my new music. See, Prince had the music, the new stuff that he had in it, they didn't want to pay him for it.
Oh, he had, like 20 albums worth of stuff or something?
Okay, no, in that Purple Rain Deluxe, he had 3 albums of music that came out to the 8 songs was on Purple Rain. Okay, that's what's on Purple Rain Deluxe. He said they don't want to pay me for that. He put it, Prince would, when he hit you up, because I've talked to Prince online. Okay, when he sent you a message or he sent you an email, it was all in capital letters like he was yelling. He didn't. That was his signature to let you know if it was Peter Bravestrong or whoever it was that was sending you something. He would put you big capital letters.
So
they ain't want to pay me for my music, Frank. You know what you was talking about, marketing early and royalties and making sure you get what you supposed to get.
Right.
They didn't want to pay him for it.
But they got it now though.
Hold on. Next month, 1999 Deluxe coming out. They got 5 CDs coming out and a DVD.
And a DVD. That's what I saw about the DVD. So who getting that check?
Warner Bros.
See.
So when you look at all of this stuff, it's got a center thing. I tell all y'all offline who it is, but it's a center. Tiffany Nicole, I got you, baby. It's all goes back to the same people.
Just man.
Yeah.
With all of this
I feel
stuff.
like I know who these people are.
And then, but then you looking at it and it's like, okay, why is all the black people going on? I would get into Tom Brady tonight in the New England Patriots, but I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, speaking of not doing that, if we want to hear some of the poetry too.
Okay.
We're gonna have to change gears.
I was in there, man. We in there, man. I was finna ask about Jesse Smollett if anybody paid attention to that, but wait, we gon'
Juicy.
I ain't
Go
gonna
part 2 to this.
Yeah, we can always have y'all come back another time. For sure.
This is good. You gotta say about Tom Brady. I was pulling for the Patriots. I'm trying to get a check.
So who's gonna go first? You or him?
Oh no!
Are you deferring to me?
Yeah,
y'all just want me to hit like that, man. I appreciate it, man. So check this out. Again, like I say, I do stuff on the conscious tip, try to wake people up and send messages creatively. So this poem right here that you're about to hear is titled "Broken," and it's titled "Broken" for a reason. And you'll actually catch the stuff as I actually speak or say it within this poem. It starts out hot. In order for our vision of a better world to truly be better, we must be willing to face the facts that we are broken. I said, in order for our vision of a better world to truly be better, we must be willing to face the facts that we are broken. Broken from these unhealthy environments that manipulate, segregate, diversitate, discriminate, desensitize, and then educates us to eliminate by the unconscious love to hate. I can only pray that fate won't let that line blow your mind. But just in case if a bold soul misses it, don't panic. I promise I'll put it in MP3 format just so that you can later on hit rewind. You see, we've been broken so long that it's become our normality. And I'm out here struggling so hard to get the blind to see this reality, but they can't. Because of this instilled fear, we'll close our eyes scared to death to look at this reality. You see, we've been broken with time. So broken that I can never find enough of it to ease my mind. You see, things are happening so fast that I only wish that I could press pause, or even better, Lord, allow me to hit rewind. There's so many things left unsaid that still I just want to say. Some more time that I need just so that I can go outside and play. And Lord, since it is you that is all knowing and I really wouldn't have it any other way, I'd like to ask for a little bit more time upon me visiting my very last days. And I only ask of it because I know there are so many souls out here longing to be saved. So many trapped living in this world, stuck in that mentality of a slave, you see. We're broken. And even though there are no more whips and chains, the damage done to us psychologically has messed up our good brain. They took the shackles off of our feet so that we could dance in the rain, but secretly they knew that even if we did escape, we'd run right back to the same things, and we keep running back to the same things because we're broken. And when I seen it, my internal soul started to hurt down on the inside. And next came those physical effects. Tears started to form. I'd lay in bed at night and cry. And time would no longer work. But there was no more time for me to keep sitting around asking, why? You see, this movement that I have has to start now. Or else with me, my dreams will soon die. Broken.
Church.
That was deep.
You know what's
great,
crazy?
man.
Even though there are no more whips and chains, we are still killing each other for whips and chains.
Mm-hmm. Damage done.
They took the shackles off our feet, put them on our mind.
Yeah.
I know it. Creatively.
Right.
That was good. Thank you for that, bro.
Do you have yours ready?
No, I don't have anything memorized.
Yeah, I thought it was on your phone. Was it not on your phone?
Yeah, no, after that.
Okay, you not following that up?
Yeah, I just gotta leave.
Hey, you can't, man.
Man, shoot. That was good. I would freestyle something, but I don't want to be embarrassed.
No, it's okay. What else do you have for us? What else you got over there?
Oh, well, man, I do a lot of stuff. Let me see what else I can pull out of. I got a lot of different things. Let me give another one. This is one that really hits people hard when they find out about me. And it's actually a kind of introduction to me. It's titled, I'm Sorry, with Purpose. So let me begin this introduction with who I am. The name given to me is Frank Sykes, and yes, I'm a proud black man. By the time I turned 18, that nickname given was Frizzy. If you ask me if I liked it, I'll tell you I love it. I think it's something rather unique. You see, I completed high school to the fullest, did a year and a half in college. While I was there, I obtained some knowledge and decided that this school thing it was not for me. Fast forward with me, please, to when I'm now just 23, exposed to a great opportunity working as that prison guard in that system. That private industry begins with C. The total years I stayed was 3. Got trained to kill if there was a need. After that, I then became that deputy. To move up fast was my mission to the top. My premonition, Officer of the Year, is one of the highest recognitions, and I can stand before you today and say, I even accomplished that. If I had the time, I'd tell you how I did it, and I know that you would get it. You stand on your feet and applaud, but I'd humble myself and say I was only doing my job. Now I used to see the man that stands in front of you since I've given you my introduction. And as uncomfortable as it is right now, I have to say that I'm law enforcement. But I come to you today because there's something that I have to say. It's been far too long for this day, and too many lives have had to pay. So I guess I should just say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the accidental hurt that I had caused. If I had known what I was doing, I would have stopped myself by hitting pause. I just hit rewind on that last line, trying to get back to the time before I took that fall. I'm sorry. You see, I'm sorry for the lives taken away, especially the young ones of the day, the ones whose opportunity that was just stolen away. You didn't know that little Tamir could have been outside practicing to be what I am today. I'm sorry for that incident with Mr. Brown, and even though I didn't pull the trigger, I know that he shot him when he was on the ground, and if he wasn't, I know he seen him falling down and with that shot to the top of his head. He made that decision to no longer have him around. I'm sorry for these scared officers that's quick to pull these triggers. So scared that they'll make a decision in a split second, even quicker, standing in uniform, false claiming and faking to be brave while being brainwashed by this system, thinking that someone is going to kill them one day. But most of all, I'm sorry that it took me so long to recite this poem. You see, I stood by way too long waiting for those guilty parties to admit that they were wrong. The people knew that they did it at all shows and how the story really just sounds so dumb. All we wanted them to do was admit it and then step down off of that throne. You see, I would have to get personal and say to Mr. Wilson, the job was never meant to be for a person like you. You see, that courage needed in a stressful situation you can't create is more like a genetic trait that grew. And I know it's not his fault. He really chose a career that he was thinking was cool. The people responsible for all this mess, well, they sit at the top. Maybe they'll catch that poem before my poem is through. Nevertheless, as an officer, I stand all by myself, a man bold with pride and truth. I'll stand right here full of courage and say, I'm sorry to all of you, to the people. I am sorry. So that poem right there is actually one of my first poems I actually took stages doing, man. And I was doing it at the time I wrote it as I was still an officer. I think I wrote it in 2014, 2015. And it was around that time of the Tamir Rice and the Mike Brown, and what really kind of pushed me over the edge was the Sandra Bland situation. That kind of happened.
I'm cut you off.
Well, because as an officer, she should have never been in jail. That situation should have never transpired to have rippled to cause her to even be put in that situation. Right. So it was at that point that my frustration kind of boiled over, and I'm like, you know what? I got to start saying some stuff. Right. So I actually took that poem, and the first thing I did was I put it online. I knew I was bucking the system because as an officer, and a lot of people don't know this, and they'll tell you as an officer, once you actually are under this agreement, under this contract, you done signed your life away. So you don't really have your First Amendment. Right. You cannot talk. You cannot say what you want to say without repercussion.
So the wall of silence is paperwork.
Oh yeah. It's contract.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a brotherhood of like.
Well, no.
Fraternal
like
now.
Even when you'll be taught, like in law enforcement, if someone of the media comes to speak to you, you refer them to media relations, because media relations is going to be the people that's already set up and designed to do things in an orderly fashion, so that really and truly they can protect the agency, because they know. Once you start opening your mouth, by accident, the stuff that's going to come out, you're going to hang the agency and yourself and everybody else up. So, in fear, they make you be quiet so that you don't mess it up, one, for yourself and definitely for this agency. So, that silence thing is a truthful thing. Like, even when you want to speak on the Sandra Bland situation, like, the moment that he asked her to put out that cigarette was a moment that he stepped across that line.
Right.
And that like she was in her car in her own what's name and had nothing to do. So for you to ask her to do something that had nothing to do with law or anything was a violation in itself on just morals for human life. Like I don't respect you enough. You put your cigarette out. It don't work like that. If you don't want the cigarette smoke, step back a little further. You ain't getting it, right?
There you go.
So he took things way above where it should have went as an officer. Like that step out of the car because I didn't want to put out my cigarette. You couldn't justify that in no court of law, nowhere for him to. I mean, I just wish she would have held on long enough so that we could actually have that thing play out.
Yeah.
But like I say, it should have never happened. And then it frustrated me even more when an officer comes blind to the situation, so that the second officer that came up don't know what's happened before.
Right.
All you see is what's happening in the now.
Right.
So you now engaged with some stuff, and I used to be mad at officers. I tell officers, if I ever run into something that I find out later that you created, we have another fight. Because you pull me into some stuff that should not be, and don't expect me to try to cover your butt up. That was just me and my rawness. I'm not that type of person, uniform or not. And so when you establish yourself like that, you'll notice people in the agency, they'll move away from you.
Exactly.
They'll try to keep stuff even hidden from you. And that's what type of person that I was. So anytime I had to deal with something, I dealt with it myself, knowing that I didn't want them involved.
Right.
Wow.
I had a situation where I didn't mind telling the truth when something happened. I wrote it down exactly what it was, a story as it is, justified. I never was an ill-willed officer to do anything. But I had my supervisor change the narrative to my story so that it fit and sounded better, so that it protected the agency. So you twisted my words that to really cover it up and more protection for the agency, knowing that we was lying.
Right.
So a lot of that stuff, truthfully, it really happens.
I feel like that's what happened in that Amber Geiger situation. The narrative's being switched up to cover the agency.
That when something happens, the first step that they try to tell you to do is to put it to paper. So you need to write it out and have it down as soon as possible so that it can have its truth to it, because the more time that transpires, the more you forget little details, things like that. So they try to get you to do that. But the other thing that they'll make sure that they do, that if it's not going to go in the favor of helping them out, they're going to make sure that they're coaching you.
They're going to brief you
through how it should sound.
Right.
So that it's able to be of a benefit. And one way I couldn't be mad, because there were some officers that shouldn't have been officers. I don't think they graduated high school, so they would literally not know how to write a report to make sense, right?
Wait, can I jump in right
Go
here?
ahead.
I think that stems from, and I'm gonna take it. We're in the same little generation here, but our parents always preached to us that police officers and firefighters, that those weren't good jobs. So we all went out and tried to find better jobs. Like, you're risking your life for this amount of money. And I mean, a lot of our parents preached that to us. So a lot of people that probably could have and would have made great police officers were preached through their childhood that that's not a good, profitable job. Go get a better job.
It is
and they
not.
did. That's what I'm saying. So then they did. So then all the people that probably would have made great police officers and made great firefighters and made great are now, and I'm not saying the ones that are, not all of them, you know what I mean, are bad, but I'm just saying that there's a lot of people that probably would have made good officers and would have made good.
Well, this is what I say to that. So, like in your statement, you're saying would have made great officers and great people, and I'm understanding saying that they would have treated people fairly. So I'm getting that out of you. Yes. Sad truth is to say, even when they are that person that's treating people fairly and doing, they're accomplishing not their objective, but this system's objective.
Right.
So, in honest truth, I would not even tie making a great officer or being a great officer into that. That's not what you are. You're a great slave.
Servant. Civil servant.
That's what it really and honest truly comes down to, because it's not something that you yourself is creating. Right. It's something you are signing up to help already exist. Right. So you just become trained. You even go through training to be trained what this is, how we do stuff. It's not you at full. That's why I differ from a lot of the officers.
So how did you not get brainwashed? What?
I was at first initially.
Okay.
But my breaking came down. A lot of it goes back to my father. My father was awoke, and I didn't even know it. He was a minister, but he was awoke. And being involved with the people he was involved with shows me that he was awoke. Even in dealing with my mom today and how my dad was, he passed away when I was 13. So at age 13, he taught me a lot of stuff creatively. He would put it, like, tuck it into the simple stuff that he would say. It wouldn't be strictly that, but later on as I unravel it, like, I see where this makes sense and applies to life now. That's how awoke he was with the stuff that he would do, and he just was not bending or biting on any unfair treatment of anybody for any reason. Right. I can remember me and Daddy standing in the yard, and this like really happened. The Ku Klux Klan used to have a parade that would go from downtown Columbia back into Pulaski, right? Well, we stayed at, literally, it walked past our house, and we would stand out in the yard, and he was just watching. He said, "Before I be a slave, I'll be dead and buried in my grave." That's how real he was to not letting anything enslave him. Right. He only 57. He was 57 when he died. He only worked 9 years of his life. 9 years is what they have him documented, and that was at his younger age when he was working.
He was a pastor full time.
He was preaching and he was doing other stuff business wise just to make money without being underneath someone's supervision or someone's policies or procedures.
How long did he preach?
Long time.
Alone. Let me put it like this. Daddy, it was crazy, and I didn't see it. It's the ignorance that kind of happened to me, because when you're actually living or you're around stuff, your normal is somebody's abnormal, but you don't notice it.
Very true.
People would, because of his connection and stuff that he would do, it can't nothing happen to him now because both of them are gone, but they would bring tickets or any illegal trouble that they got into to my daddy, and daddy would take it down to the courthouse and get it taken care of.
That's what's up.
So that's the connect and the power and stuff that he actually had to make stuff happen. But it wasn't more so from him doing stuff. It was because they knew he knew. And they knew what he knew was dangerous. So it's either you make friends with the dangerous one or you start a war. And sadly, I have to admit, I believe my father just said, you know what, in this fight and seeing how ignorant people was and how it really was, people really wasn't going to fight the way that we needed to fight.
Yeah.
He said, you know what, I'm just like more people do. I plug in and try to make my change the best way that I can within it now. But that's what kind of carved me from being that type of person of I'm always going to do right by people. I don't care what offense that they did, they got them into custody or any of that stuff, because when you look at a lot of stuff, you find out that people are who they are from their environment.
Yes.
Not for they just chose to want to be bad. No, I talked to one of my offenders that I've seen on the outside, and I asked him, I said, what's going on with you? What happened in your life? He was going to school at TSU and was doing stuff, but then he told me, he said, my mama got me hooked on crack. His mama was a crackhead. His daddy was an African. And if you don't know anything about Africans know how to work. Like, literally, his daddy would always be on, get a job, just get a job. So his daddy would work, whatnot. The mama was the downfall for him. First one that introduced him to crack cocaine. And then that took him from being in school at TSU to being homeless and on the street and literally not having nothing better for him in life.
Wow.
It's crazy how that woke me up to environments of people not wanting to not be good. They just didn't have an avenue. If my mama hooked me up on something, how do you defeat that?
Right.
Yeah, man.
That comes back to that, right?
That's it. And so he was. It's kind of like whatever happened past that point was his setup for failure. He couldn't avoid it if he wanted to, unless somebody else just came along. And the sad truth, they would have had to kill his mama, snatch him away, and expose him to another environment, him not knowing or having any knowledge of her even existing.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. So I just decided to say, you know what? Me knowing that it's that bad, I can't keep going at this same mindset that the system was telling me is that they're choosing to be bad. These people are bad because they choose to be bad. No, let me change the environment and watch better product come up out of it.
That's when people talk about the crab in the barrel mentality.
Right.
Like crabs pull each other down. That's because the water's hot.
Yeah.
If you put them in the ocean in their regular environment, they don't do that.
Right.
But
So,
nobody ever points that out.
and that's that creativity that this system. A lot of people talk about system oppression, but they don't really look at how deep
the whole
psychologically that oppression is.
Yes.
I tell people a lot of times, poverty is not yes, it's financial, but it's not so much financial as it is mentality.
Right. Poverty is
Because there's some
mindset.
rich people in poverty.
Oh yeah.
And in their poverty mindset as rich, they don't ever want to fall to a certain level, so they're going to do whatever it takes to stay or gain. Meaning, if I got to throw you down underneath that bus to save me, they will.
You get a prime example in Washington.
Yeah.
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 They will do it.
They'll do it in a heartbeat, but in on the smallest level. Because something that I'm figuring out in life is people will take whatever their occupation is and it'll be magnified. We could all be working at the junkyard, but if you want to be the foreman or the team lead of the junkyard, it's everything to you now. So you'll throw me under the bus, and even though we just working at a junkyard together, I want that spot up there. You know what I mean? And it's just it plays out. And when you say it's psychological, I feel like that is it's like a propaganda tool that keeps that. Keeps that going.
It's trained within your environment, and so it's like a lot of things that I woke up to. A lot of people. I was an athlete. I played at Columbia Central High School. I was good. I'm not gonna even lie. I'll tell you right now. I turned down the opportunity to go play in the NFL twice.
Get the fuck. What?
Now, the crazy thing is because it actually became the thing of who you know, not how good you was. So who you know can get you a lot of places, but you don't really want that type of progression, and then later on be able that comes back to haunt you.
Yeah.
So literally, if I was crooked, I would have took it and ran, right? But you have to think down the line. Don't live for the day. Think about what's gonna happen later on when this come out. How you really got here, where you really came from, and they start doing it, or you don't do what
And the story's told.
right. If you don't do what they say do, how they got something on you. Don't give them nothing. So literally, I turned it down in thinking deeper than just in the
You
now.
didn't go for the instant gratification.
No, you can't go for that because that's sometimes
That's
the
my
setup
whole
for your
generation,
failure.
bro. My whole generation.
See, the thing to feed on what he said here, we have to learn how to be tomorrow people.
Yeah.
We can't be in the moment.
Right.
We need to be thinking about tomorrow and thinking about the future.
But there's so much happening in the moment.
But it's so much happening. But you got to get your mind mentally mature enough to deal with life.
Yeah.
And see, I told all y'all that when y'all was getting ready to graduate from school, I was telling you stuff I wish people would have told me when I was 17, 18 years old. And I had people doing that, but the people that was doing that, I wasn't listening to them. I would listen to my teacher quicker than I would listen to my daddy. That was my folly.
Yeah.
Okay, now I listen to my dad like he Albert Einstein. I know he know way more than I know.
Right.
And he's way smarter than I am.
Right.
See, but you did tell me the stuff that I needed to hear. Like, I was 16, 17. I didn't really get it till I was like 21. But the fact that I got it at 21 though, like things that
Right.
some people be in their 40s and they have to learn from
Right.
the mistake. It would just be certain things you might say, and I'll be seeing it happen, and I'll be like, that's what he meant. I can dodge that whole thing, like because sometimes you could see somebody's folly, you could see somebody's mess up, but you don't understand how to avoid it yourself. You just see everybody going off that cliff. I don't really know how to stop.
Yeah, you ain't supposed to see it.
Yeah,
You ain't supposed, and that's the thing, because I end up mentoring a lot of people, being a poet and being an artist. You end up crossing people that want to talk to you and need some help, and I have to let them know, don't blame yourself, because some stuff is creatively being done to you and you don't notice it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not awake to notice every single thing. So the second that you are asleep on it, it'll influence you, and you won't know it influenced you, because that's how marketing works. If you really want to learn how marketing works, study it and show how they'll show you how an image flashes in front of you. You ain't finna do nothing right now with it, but later down the line it's gonna make its impact, and you'll never know.
Subliminal.
Oh man,
Yeah, subliminally.
So creatively, those that phone, all this stuff is. People don't realize I use social media for business purposes.
It's
for
a
the
social
marketing,
experiment for me.
For me to be able to reach people creatively, because they put that out there to do it to us.
Exactly.
That's why it's out there.
A lot of people don't realize, and really it's sad they don't realize it, because they have openly put documents and statements out that they have practiced adjusting our moods, adjusting where our focus is. The article, they admit it. It's not even a secret no more.
No.
It's like, hey, Facebook is like, hey, we targeted you with negative posts and negative comments and stuff for 6 months just to follow
How you went.
how you reacted. Let me say this. I believe that during the Obama administration, that was an experiment to see how we reacted to fake news and how well we took
all that stuff.
Yes.
All that stuff was, and it was done intentionally to do what it done.
Always remember, always remember that the Jim Jones CIA records are classified and they were not released.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's it, man. We could talk about this stuff for hours, but we have hit a 2-hour limit. We are at 2 hours.
We definitely have to do this again.
Yeah, we definitely need to.
And for those listening, if you think you caught everything, I just rewind.
Right, you need to rewind that, play that back. You know what I'm saying? This is very informative. A lot of information being thrown at you guys all at once. So.
For real. I hope you
Breathe through it. Breathe through it. It's a lot. So
Right.
Don't go
Research
into
stuff.
panic mode, because it's not to push or stress you out, but it's just to give you a wake up call and so you can readjust and really refocus. So,
and I'm gonna look up that King in the Wilderness, and I'm gonna look up Willie Somerset also.
Yeah. I'd like to thank you, Mr. Brown. This is our first time meeting. I went to Spring Hill.
All
So,
right.
Frizzy,
Yeah,
I appreciate everything. We are going to have you guys back at some point in time. Both of you guys are so knowledgeable about things. I think we should bring Frizzy back with James.
hell yeah.
And I think we should bring Mr. Brown back with Josh. Yes. That would be a great. Josh is a historian, you know.
Political analyst.
So, he's a good guy though.
Okay.
A good guy.
Yeah.
And James, he comes on and he does a segment about
legal
law.
advice.
He's an attorney.
wow.
So so it'd be good to just talk about things. You know what I mean? Hey, James is a good guy. They're both great guys.
They are.
They wouldn't be
hang out with
on
cool
the
people.
cast if they weren't.
Yeah, we hang out with cool people.
Understood.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for tuning in. You know, we're at 2-hour mark and it's time for us to blast off, you know, back into outer space. Brandon, you got anything for him?
Follow me on Instagram at Yeezy LaFlair. Like the page. Put the tattoo competition on your calendar.
Right.
And we're gonna have on the Po Boy Poets.
Yeah,
That's
we're
there.
gonna bring them
Yes,
on down.
please come back. Yes, I have probably 2 or 3 more time slots that I need to fill.
Yes.
So, and we've got some great people
Got a rapper that wants. Yeah.
Do you? Okay. So we've got a fire dancer. We've got a guy that's going to do a glass blowing display. Damian Boggs is going to come perform. Short and low. Hey, what's up? Y'all was out there with us. I appreciate the love, Short and Low. And hopefully you guys.
Put the po' boys and poets down. We gonna
I'll
make
give
it
you an
happen.
hour.
Y'all
Y'all got an hour for us?
Man, we got 3 days for you.
3 days?
We're gonna trim it down.
Yes. So let's before we go, let's pass around
Tata Hannes.
Tata Hannes. Everybody rub Tata Hannes for good luck.
Oh, Tata. Okay.
Tata Hannes.
Tata Hannes.
Y'all didn't see him rubbing Tata Hannes. So
how can they get in contact with you on social media?
Follow me on Instagram, Frizzy222, just like the hair being Frizzy, FRIZZY, and 222.
okay.
Right. What at Po
Boys and Poets. You can follow that on Instagram as well. It's PBNP Nash, and it's Po Boys and Poets Nashville is what it actually is broken down for. So PBNP Nash. You'll find, of course, the events that we do there. Frizzy Productions is actually my sole proprietor, marketing and promotion business. So a lot of stuff, marketing goes through Frizzy Productions. Just plug in. So either Frizzy Productions, Frizzy222, or Po Boys and Poets Nashville. You can find us.
Okay.
Nice. All
Mr. Brown, if they want to reach you,
Hey, I'm on Facebook.
your Facebook.
Because
Okay.
he does the MLK, JFK, Mink Slide.
Yeah. Also, let me throw out this November 22nd, 2019. The Columbia Central High School Criminal Justice 2 class will be doing a presentation.
Oh, nice.
And it's going to be JFK 50+6. It will be in the auditorium at 7 p.m.
Maybe we should show up.
Yeah.
Show up and broadcast a little bit.
Kids get on to some stuff, and when they start investigating, I'll catch me 2 or 3 every year. They won't leave it alone.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this the students actually like
students
researching
gonna
into.
present, yeah.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
And a high school. All right. Well, gentlemen, we really appreciate y'all. Man, it's so much. This was just dope.
Yeah,
But
it was a
we're
good
gonna
time,
sign
man.
out. I hope everybody has a blessed week. Hey, love each other. Rest in peace to my dear friend Dre Hidalgo. I love you, bro. Just love each other. Be grateful for the time that we got. Y'all have a good one. WhoDat?
WhoDat?
You're now rocking with DJ.
There's nothing around. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. I think it's DJ Skinny. They not around. Let's go. Who that? Respect the DJ.